Mm.
Okay, Cersei, we're live.
Hey everyone,
We're
welcome back
talking.
to 12 Days to a Healthy Christmas. And we are on day 8. I just can't believe how fast time is going. I mean, before you know it, Christmas is here. It seems crazy. The time is flying by, eh?
It is flying by really fast. So, this topic today is the area I struggle with the most personally. Getting,
Really?
yeah, getting 8 hours of sleep.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Okay, well, that's right, because you go to bed early, but you're saying the 8 hours is your issue. It's not getting
well, I usually go to bed early, but lately I've not been going to bed early.
okay. Yeah.
I kind of I think it's a couple things. I think
Mhm.
it's just working a lot, but then
Mhm.
also honestly, we've been kind of hooked on Money Heist, and so
Robbing you your sleep. Yep, it did it to me. I'm the one who recommended it, so I know.
I know we cannot stop watching Money Heist.
Yep.
It started off, like you said, it started off slow, and then it just kind of it sucks you
It hooks
in.
you in that you're just like one more, and then
One
next
more.
thing you know, it's like late at night. I'm like, I gotta get up tomorrow. So yeah.
I know.
So
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 my
getting
night.
8 hours of sleep, mini series you need to take off of the list, I'm guessing. Be wary of mini series. They could disrupt your sleep. I mean, that is definitely the truth.
I know. It has really thrown my nightly routine into a loop. Um,
Yes.
but I mean, it will come to an end. So,
Yes, that's the good part. That's the good part. So, yeah, so why sleep is so important. I think a lot of times we because it's something we do every day again, whether it's 1 hour, 5 hours, 6 hours, we kind of take it for granted
mhm,
and kind of the necessity of it and the
yeah,
value that it gives to our health. And so being intentional about getting those 8 hours of sleep is so important because tell us what is it that sleep does for our body, because I think we just take it for granted, like, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, but there's a
yeah,
rejuvenation process going on in your on a cellular level. You want to talk about
yeah.
what sleep does?
Well, I mean, you just hit it. I mean, it
Yeah.
does help your body heal itself. So, damage that you do to your body, either
Mhm.
intentionally or unintentionally,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be from just working out really hard, like
Mm.
getting in a hard workout. You do create, some stress on the body. It's a good stress because
Yes.
when you do get your sleep, it, builds stronger muscles and, makes you healthier and improves your fitness level, but you need the sleep to recuperate.
Right.
Sleep is also important because obviously being alert, and being
Mhm.
able to drive safely on the road is very important for
Mhm.
your life and the life of others. Um,
Right.
which, some places have put sleep I was reading this, I don't gotta find out where I was reading this, but sleep deprivation
Mhm.
and driving has like the same offense as drunk driving, like,
Right.
because the
Yeah.
effects of it are very similar. And so
Right.
in some places there's laws or ordinances around that.
Yeah.
Um, and so there's that piece. Also it's associated with, excessive eating. So when you're not getting enough
Mhm.
sleep, you tend to
Yeah.
eat more, which obviously
Yeah.
promotes weight gain and obesity and type 2 diabetes and all the other things that go along with, unnecessary excessive eating. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hugely
Yeah,
important.
it's so many aspects to it. I mean, even our immunity.
Mhm.
Our immunity is built when we're getting proper sleep, and when we rob ourselves of sleep, and it also breaks down our immunity. Our immunity gets lower and lower when we're not getting enough sleep at night. And so I know everyone has different schedules. I know there's an optimal time frame. People who work the night shift and all these other things, you can get 8 hours, but of course, the quality may not be as great, of course, as
Right.
you're getting it during, um, you know, the
Yeah.
hours between 10 and whatever. But still trying to get that 8 hours in is another important piece to do what you can, even if you're working off shift or you're somebody, you know, um, who's maybe, your day is your night and your night's your day,
Right.
still getting that 8 hours, I think, is to being able to do whatever you can with what you
Yeah.
have, you
Yeah,
know?
I would say some other things that affect sleep and
Mhm,
sleep quality,
mhm.
caffeine after a certain point in the
Yeah.
day. So, I can remember when I was in my 20s and even 30s, this was, when I was not eating very well or taking care of myself. I would go down to the Starbucks in my office building and get some sort of a latte, usually like 3 in the afternoon.
Mm,
Um, and I would still be able to go to sleep at night. It's no problem. But as we get older, we don't metabolize the caffeine. So caffeine has a half-life of like 5 to upwards of 7 hours.
right.
And so what that means is that that cup of coffee you had after lunch could be circulating in your blood
Wow.
at 10
Yeah,
o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and especially as you get older, so
yeah,
you might be more sensitive to
yeah,
caffeine. So
yeah,
what we say in the course is if you're going to drink caffeine, or not in the course in terms of doing the fast, but coming
yeah.
out of the fast,
Mhm.
is if you're going to drink caffeine or like coffee, that you keep it under 300 milligrams, and you drink it earlier in the morning so it doesn't disrupt your sleep.
Yeah, that's a good
um,
point, Gigi. Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I would say the other thing besides,
Water.
addictive. Yeah, I know. You know
Yeah,
what?
you can
That's
drink
true.
and you could get up be going to the bathroom a lot if you drink too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's another thing to try to stagger your water. I know when I first started to try to push myself to drink a gallon of water a day or something like this, I was like pushing it way too late because I wasn't keeping up with the pace. But you have to just be mindful, set an alarm, give yourself some kind of trigger, say, okay, now it's time to drink some water. So you're not trying to catch up, saying, oh, well, I
Mhm.
only had 2 cups of water today. Let me drink as much as I can right before bed. And then you find
Mhm.
yourself getting up very often. And so part of it is also being mindful of what you're drinking and reminding yourself to drink earlier on in the day so that by the time you get to bed, you would have kind of did most of your drinking and it won't interrupt you.
Yeah. I think for most people, I think if you get it in like 3 hours before bed, you will have eliminated
Yeah,
most, if not all of it, before bed,
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
approximately
for
three
sure.
hours.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I think the other thing that is a big disruptor of sleep that a lot of people don't realize is alcohol, because it's a sedative.
Mm, yeah.
And but the problem is that it might put you to sleep initially. It really ruins the quality of your sleep. It'll either wake you
Mm,
up early, like wake
right.
you up before you intend to wake up, or you don't get that quality REM sleep, even if you
Mm-hmm.
do sleep 7 or 8 hours. So the quality is not a deep
Yeah.
sleep. So
That's a good
alcohol is.
point to make, though, Gigi, because it's not only just getting the 8 hours of duration, but it's getting the quality of sleep.
Mhm.
Because if you're going to sleep for 8 hours and you have the ability to get the 8 hours in, you might as well tweak it so that you're actually getting the quality, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So that's a good
And
one. Yeah.
yeah, I think those are like the big ones. Obviously, things like stress can
Mm-hmm.
factor into sleep,
Yeah.
having too much on your mind. I
Yes.
know for
Worry.
me, when
Yeah.
and this is why journaling is so helpful,
Yeah.
is if I have like a lot of stuff on my mind,
Mm-hmm.
it helps to just pull out that journal and just start just unloading on that journal page.
Right.
What are all the things that are on my mind, that are bothering me, that are weighing on me?
Yeah.
And some of those turn into prayers. Some
Yeah.
of them are just little tasks, like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't get my tires rotated or something.
Right. 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 No to-do
Obviously,
list. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna pray about my tire rotation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think and then just organizing what all you have to do, and set a plan to get through what you need to get done, and prioritize it realistically. So I
Yeah.
think
That's
those
a
are some
that's a
things that
good
have helped
point.
me.
That's a good point. And that's one thing, journaling is sometimes to get that 8 hours of sleep, you almost have to create a nightly routine. You almost have to schedule yourself. You got to kind of say, well, like how you kind of schedule in and pencil in all these other things, you really have to be strategic about your sleep as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are the kind of things that help you wind down? Like you said, the journaling. For some people, it could even be playing some music and you know, whatever kind of things that kind of help you wind down, putting away the cell phones, and because
Mm.
that's a disruptor of sleep as well. They're saying a lot
Yep.
of times they're saying that you should be turning off electronics 2 to 3 hours before bed. And I mean, in our day and age, that sounds like torture, right? Put my phone away for 3 hours before bed. But these are the things that kind of disrupt them. Not having your phone right beside your pillow, like certain
Right.
things that we have to do to unplug to regain some of our sleep. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Because the blue light, even just, the blue light
Yeah.
can affect your melatonin or is it your your melatonin,
Yeah.
which is kind of that chemical that tells you when to go to sleep. So,
Exactly. And getting a dark space. I know a lot of people say they have to watch TV and have all these kind of stuff going on. But again, I think it does disrupt the quality. You
hmm
might get your 8 hours in, but it does disrupt your quality. And trying to see if you can get a dark place so you can stimulate that melatonin production in your body.
yeah.
Because having that constant blue light going, you may be sleeping the 8 hours, but like you said, you're not getting the quality REM that you
hmm
need.
The other thing that I think has been affecting me just more recently, besides Money Heist, is,
Uh-huh.
and we talked about this a little bit on the phone, is
Yeah.
just I have spaces in my house right now
Yeah.
that have like way too much clutter.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of weighing on me visually and
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
And so I keep saying I have to organize this, I have to declutter,
Yeah.
I have to. And so I think, just something like that I know would help relax me a little bit
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
aid in me sleeping my 8 hours. So
For sure, definitely, because
yeah.
it's part of the space. It's part of the
hmm
distraction that we have for sure.
Yeah.
So, guys, go ahead and post in the comment. How many hours of sleep are you getting a night? Right? Are you getting 5, 6, 7? Some people like I do best on 5. I do best on 6. Do we really need that full 8, Gigi, or can you just?
Well, yeah, that's a tough question
Yeah,
because I think some people who think they're getting enough sleep are just used to not getting enough sleep. They've
yeah,
become they've just acclimated to that shortened sleep
right.
duration. And so I would say those people are probably not getting enough sleep. If they're used to being tired, if they're used to being,
Yeah,
sluggish or whatever.
yeah.
So, but I mean, the studies, at least the ones that I've looked at,
Hmm.
show that it's between 7 and 9 hours. So
Right.
some people are great, they're tip top at 7 hours. Others need nine. So
No, and then
but
some people
eight,
are
I
in the
think, is a
sweet
good
spot, right?
average.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. So
yeah,
yeah, go ahead and tell us, number one, how many hours of sleep are you getting? Are you getting quality sleep? If not, what do you feel are some of your hindrances that's hindering you from sleeping?
yeah.
But that
We
is
have
definitely
we've got one
um,
person who stepped up and said they're getting 6 hours a night.
six
Um,
hours.
yeah,
Yeah. And then the question is, what do I need to do to bump it up maybe in an hour? Maybe, because you could do it in increments where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm
yeah.
going to just creep up slowly. I'm going to start getting up or timing myself to go to bed earlier. Because a lot of times you can't really change when you get up, but you
hmm
could kind of work around when you actually go to bed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Yeah, and I was just going to point out one other dynamic here. So
yeah.
hormones can play a role
Ah,
in sleep. So the hormone progesterone is, they call it a calming hormone.
mm,
And sometimes, as you move into menopause and postmenopausal pausal kind of period in your life, your hormones kind of get, out of balance. And sometimes your healthcare provider, especially if they're a naturopath or
mhm,
someone who's trained in lifestyle medicine, may recommend some sort of just some sort of like hormone balancing, compound hormones to
mhm.
help balance those hormones out if it's really chronic. So if you're in that age group, that 50 plus range, and you've done all the right things that to do, that we've already talked about, that we've covered, and you're
Yeah.
still having problems, you might want to just have your hormones checked to see what other
Right.
options there are. We've got
Yeah.
someone who said, I have a habit of sleeping with the TV on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big one. That's a big one. And it gets to the point where, you know, you can't sleep without it, and I know that because I sleep with a TV watcher, and it's a battle, full disclosure here. And so it's a battle, and actually we actually took the television out of our room, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it has been the best sleep, because something happens where your room is just about sleeping. You're not watching
Yeah.
TV. And even that aids in the 8 hour sleep. Now, he may not admit it, but he's getting better sleep. I can see it from
Hmm.
this TV, so, and I can't do the TV. It's difficult for me because I just need the silence and the dark. So
Yeah.
yeah, you want to make, try doing a night without it and just forcing yourself, because a lot of it is just what you're used to. Like, I need, or what you could do is have some type of sound in the background. You know how they have those kind of water waves where you're
Yeah.
still getting a sound, but you're in pitch darkness. And that might be a
Right.
way to transition, because I'm actually been using some of those water waves and things, and that's kind
Yeah.
of been the transition.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I was younger, I had this was before like the whole iPhone and iPad
Yeah.
and all that. I had a fan in my bedroom, and
Right.
it would just rattle, and that's what would put me to sleep. Like I would be in high
Right.
school or junior high, and that was kind of what helped me fall asleep.
Right. And so
Yeah.
that, so you could kind of tweak it and say, well, how could I keep the darkness but give me some type of sound that I need? Because I'm sure it's not, you know, Housewives of Atlanta, the specific show or whatever we're watching. That it's not the program. I think it's the noise, and so you can
Hmm.
kind of, kind of supplement that.
Yeah. What's your stance on naps, Cersei? Are you a pro nap or anti nap?
I am a pro nap, and
Yeah.
I've always napped. I
Yeah.
love naps. Like, if I'm tired, I'll just go take a nap, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am so pro nap. And
Yeah.
it's
Me
sometimes
too.
it doesn't even have to be long. Sometimes a 15-20 minute nap, and I'm good to go. I've even napped in my car,
Yeah.
honestly. If I've been tired, I'll be like, you know what, 15 minutes, set my alarm, and then get right back up.
Yeah, I've napped in
So,
my car, especially at the ferry landing here, but or
yeah,
on the ferry. But
yeah,
I'm pro nap too.
yeah.
Yeah, because your body's just telling you you need to take a rest. When
Yeah.
your eyes are heavy and you're just really exhausted in the middle of the day, and you
Right, it's your
can.
body signaling you to say,
Yeah,
"Take a break. Take a
I'll
break."
feel it more on the week, the need to do that on the weekends, but sometimes during the week I'll sneak in a nap too. But
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, guys, go ahead and put your comments in, but this is definitely one healthy habit that if you can master, it can
hmm.
actually improve your health.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so tomorrow we're going to talk about 7 servings of veggies. And
Yay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we've got someone who said, now that I work from home, I find myself napping more for my lunch break. Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you on that.
Yes, definitely. Yep. I think more people are incorporating this nap concept.
Yeah.
I know in Europe, what is it called? They have the nap that
Well, there's a
everybody has.
siesta I know in Mexico, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
it's
don't
called
remember
in
the
Europe.
term, but they do the same thing where everybody takes a nap at a certain time. So it's just a culture of our body needs to rest. I think here in America, we're on the go, go, go. Rest is almost seen as a
A
negative.
weakness.
That's kind of what I sense. Like, I mean, I've heard terms of, I'll rest when I'm dead. That's a
Right.
that's a high paced, and I've heard that in the culture, but
Right.
it's like not really placing the value on sleep as if it's robbing you from your productivity, but in essence, it's actually fueling your productivity.
Hmm.
It's actually
Yeah.
the opposite. You think you're getting more, but you're actually getting less of yourself.
Yeah.
So that's another
Yeah.
dynamic. But
So,
yeah.
yeah. So someone says it reminds me of elementary school. Yeah, totally.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Remember when you had to be forced into the nap as a kid,
Uh-huh.
right? So yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
all right. So we'll be back on again tomorrow around the
Tomorrow.
same time. Yep.
All right, guys.
Okay,
See you
we'll see you
later.
later. Let me figure out how to end this.